Okay, now we record. Okay, Zach, now we're recording. Whew, oh, that was almost really scary. Oh my goodness. We started a thing and then you did a bit and I was like, okay, we got to start the recording over. And then I realized that I hadn't started the first one and I would have been really upset if we got like 40 minutes into recording and then I noticed that we hadn't been recording the whole time. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh, Zach, we're on take. Is it six now? It's 6 or 7. I don't know. It's hard to say. Zach, hello.
Hello. It's nice to be back. I'm here. We're chilling in a video.
Yeah,
Uh,
we
I'm saying random things.
we've done a whole bunch of of outtakes already, some of which are kind of usable. If you want those, they'll be over on our Patreon, and if you sign up on our Patreon, you can also get your name on the board like these fine people, and you can write whatever you want, including bottom text within reason. We know the kind of thing that you guys write. That's why I keep on being on the fence about giving you guys control during when we're playing like magma and those kinds of things. You flippin' nerds. Zach, I have actually two theories for you today. So if you're watching this and this is the if you're watching this sometime in the future, you might be able to check and see that the next video we upload it will be a sequel to this one. But I have two, I think, really quite excellent theories, and I think that you're really gonna like them. They are both pretty simple, and pretty straightforward, but that doesn't mean that they're not really good. And Zach, I think they're really good. Whew. All right, Zach, are you ready? I just want to get right into it. I just want to get right into the theory.
Yeah, yeah. Let's. You know what? We've seldom get right into theory. Let's for once just hop right in. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm on board.
and to the
I
person,
also love simple little theories because usually it's like, oh yeah, that's probably true, or oh, maybe not, but it's still pretty cool.
now,
It's the complicated ones that I have to like squint at and be like, it's either genius or it's like insanely wrong.
now
Uh
I want to know, these are very simple. That doesn't mean that I don't think they're true. In fact, I am confident enough in them that I think that these who I might want to put them on my like Winds of Winter timeline. You know what I mean? That like
hey
they're really good.
Tom, we do need to do a ranking all of our theories part two because we never got around to it, and then we did a bunch more theories.
That's true.
Uh and I think we should do a official The Winds of Winter prediction video when we are
Oh,
confident it's coming out soon.
you
So,
know,
no rush.
I thought of the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. I would love to do a complete timeline of the Winds of Winter according to theorists.
I would love for our competing visions. Actually, I would love to be like, here's the Zach edit, here's the Tom edit.
Oh yeah, and we can like maybe we like do like a branching timeline sort of thing, right? And then they like
We
come
see where we
together.
see where we like pull apart and sync back up. Yeah,
Yeah, and then they come back together later in the video. That sounds like a lot of fun, and I would love to do that. We should have guests on for that one.
yeah. I agree. Release the random internet guy caught. Uh,
Okay, Zach. All of that wonderful stuff aside, I have your first clue. And this first
Woo!
this
All right.
first clue, I am not going to write down because it's not a part of the theory. It is to get you on the right track. Okay.
Okay.
Whew. This theory has um 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 30, like 34 clues. However,
34.
however, most of those are very closely associated with a couple of things. So you need to find once you get those couple of things, they will explode, right? You will get like once you get one of them, you get like a third of the theory. And if you get
Okay.
another one, you'll get another third. So, Zach, my first clue. You're going to love this.
Mm-hmm.
My first clue. Ooh. mm. Zach, would you like the internal first clue or the external first clue?
Let's go with the external.
Zach,
Let's really ball here.
I've been reading The Lord of the Rings.
Ooh.
That is your first clue. I've been reading The Lord of the Rings. And I understand that that's broad, so I'll answer questions if you would like me to.
Please answer questions. Where are you at in Lord of the Rings? Rings?
The main characters have just entered Moria. Spoilers, by the way, for Lord of the Rings, I guess. Yep, I am maybe 2/3 of the way through the first book, and I finished The Hobbit just before this, which, by the way, is phenomenal. Turns out Lord of the Rings kind of better, kind of better. It's good. It's extremely good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. The characters have just entered Moria.
So interesting.
Mhm.
So this, let me. What should I talk about with Lord of the Rings, and The Hobbit and all that?
I think if you name some of the major events in the Fellowship of the Ring, you will probably hit on what I want you to talk about.
Bilbo Baggins has a birthday party. Gandalf shows up. He keeps his secrets.
Oh, hold on.
Uh,
Yes, continue, continue.
Frodo is there. He's like, "Hey, I'm related to Bilbo. He told me all about you, Gandalf.
Hmm.
You're like a wizard, which is not like a profession, but like a weird god thing."
Yeah,
And then Gandalf's like, "Yeah, correct. I'm a weird god thing." And this is just Zach poorly explained Lord of the Rings. I
yeah.
love it.
Zach, I
Uh,
want you to know that is what I hoped this video would become.
and the only one I've recently rewatched is the last movie, and I've never actually read books all the way through. Shocker. So,
I
uh,
read them through only once and a long time ago, and like reading them through as an adult is great. I read and like it takes a long time, but it's excellent. You know what I love about the Lord of the Rings? I'm gonna do a couple of Lord of the Rings tangents over the course of this video. You know what I love about the Lord
please
of the
do.
Rings? Everybody in those books respects each other. Everybody.
Even the dwarves and the elves get along
They
begrudgingly.
right, they don't like each other, but they do respect each other. Um, and that's very cool. Like when there's a scene where they're trying to climb a mountain and the mountain becomes very snowy. And everyone like comes together and Gandalf is like, I don't think we should go this way, but Aragorn thinks that we should go this other way. What do you all think? Tell me what you think we should do. And they like talk about it. They all talk
Yeah,
about it. Even though they have like varying qualifications, they all talk about it, and that's really cool. It's
yeah. No,
actually excellent.
that's super admirable the way the characters are shown to be all highly skilled and all acknowledge that in each other. It's not like exactly how George R. R. Martin would do it. George R. R. Martin would be like, at least one of these guys would be a prick. Actually, maybe all of them. But
Yeah,
like it's very nice for the story as you're reading it. No character feels like a complete dick. No character feels like they are unpleasant to be around, except for the bad guys. But that makes you cheer for the heroes more.
I'm like, I don't think that in the entirety of The Hobbit anybody ever insults anybody, right? Like, except for like maybe Smaug and maybe like the Elven King insults like Thorin, but like
Yeah,
I don't think that like any of the except for Bomber. Oh my god, they call Bomber fat every single time he's on screen. Oh my god. Oh my god, they call Bomber fat all the time. It's so mean. They call Bomber fat so much. Like like Bomber is like guys, I'm having a little bit of trouble. I mean like this is a tough hill and I'm having trouble getting over it. And Thorin's like, well, if you weren't so fucking fat, maybe it wouldn't be a problem, you piece of shit. it's
jeez,
it's so mean.
yeah.
Anyway, other than that,
Other than that, they're all really nice to each other.
yeah.
Uh,
And like at least to this point, Legolas and Gimli haven't even like insulted each other once.
I think the sass they give each other is played up a little more in the movie. Although again, I haven't read the book, so it's just me guessing.
I
Uh,
will bring back information about that.
I I can imagine that would be the case for if you're making a movie with all these actors who are expressive and they all are just cool with each other all the time, adding like a little freneminess to it between the dwarves and the elves, main elf character, main dwarf character, is a good way to like add some variety to the dialogue. I do. So I want to talk about. if we're just gonna jump around to things that I like about Lord of the Rings,
Uh-huh.
the cursed ghost soldiers
Ooh, hang on.
are
Just as a sidebar, um,
yeah
for those of you who are like, oh my gosh, they're so off topic right now, we're actually not.
yeah
Understanding the Lord of the Rings is part of what we're doing here. Continue,
yeah
please.
this theory has Lord of the Rings baked in it, and we know that Lord of the Rings was hugely influential in Song of Ice and Fire.
Diggity.
George R. R. Martin talks about it all the time.
The Lord of the Rings series is one of George Martin's
Germs.
principal inspirations. Inspirations. Zach, do you think that is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I would say this George R. R. Martin is putting his lens on a world like Lord of the Rings. Obviously, it's different in some way. It's largely focused on people who we identify as human, but there's the children of the forest and the others who are uh, of a different species, so to speak. They are like the elves and the dwarves in some capacity, obviously very different. There's undead. There are magical beings and powers, and there are dragons. These are all things that you can find in Tolkien style fantasy. But George is putting his view of the world, informed by, you know, what he experienced in the real world, onto this fantasy world. I think out of all the things that inspired George, uh, the Lord of the Rings is probably the most important to us getting a Song of Ice and Fire.
I think that that is extremely reasonable. Not only would I say that without Tolkien we wouldn't have Game of Thrones, but like without Tolkien I don't even know if George Martin would be writing.
Yeah, I think you could say it would be, but I think we wouldn't be able to recognize a George R. R. Martin that never read Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. All right, Zach. So let's talk about Lord of the Rings. What do you got for me?
Uh, I mean, yeah, the Ghost Army. It's probably my favorite part. I like the tree. It's also Treebeard's awesome.
Me
Uh,
too. Oh,
I just like
we learned in the flippin' server that somebody had to ruin my head canon with facts. That the weed that they smoke in the Lord of the that it's just tobacco. Man, that sucks.
I was adamant that it could have been uh like a 50 split.
Yeah.
I think they call it I think the kids call that a zigzag. Am I right? I
Yeah.
don't know. The kid is that what those Zoomers call it? When we say we're gonna get jiggy with it, and it's totally tubular. Those Zoomers.
Zach, who is this joke for?
It's me mixing up Gen X lingo with Zoomers.
Zach, I don't know if Jiggy with it is Gen X. Oh, I guess it may. Yeah, okay, never mind. I take it back.
It's an early Gen X, gotta be.
Uh, uh,
I
so we are members of the fan theory community, principally, I think. And we're
yeah
really good at ignoring evidence. So I am of the opinion that they are 100%. They are getting high as hell with those trees.
yes. I
Absolutely.
like that. So and that's what I love. This is something I give big kudos to George to also. There are little interesting things that happen in Lord of the Rings that are just like it intersects with the story so briefly, and there you feel like there's a whole other world of lore there that you got to peek into a window of for a little bit, and then you keep on moving. You could have written an entire another book about how those that like king and his men or like lord and his men who were trapped to forever be ghosts because they broke an oath. You
Oh,
could have had an entire book or two about them, and instead it's just their appearance in this story.
wait a minute, Zach.
And
Whoa, hold on. I'm theory crafting right now. You're describing the 79 Sentinels.
yes, the 79 Sentinels.
Holy shit. Oh my god. That's a good theory. I don't know what it is, but that's a good theory.
Yeah,
Continue.
you're
I'm
right.
sorry.
It is
Continue.
you're right. The 79 I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
The 79 Sentinels are the Ghost Army.
yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on, Tom, stop it. We're writing another theory
Hold
right
on,
now.
hold the phone, hold the phone. Hang on, we'll put it. Let's just, give me a second. Uh, the 79 Sentinels are uh uh doomed to keep watch forever for having broken an oath. Uh,
And it was the
the
dead men of Dunharrow who are the Ghost Army, right? They
how
also broke an oath.
how do you spell that? Dunharrow?
Dunharrow. Dead men of
Dunhar
Dunharrow.
the dead man of
Men of
Dunharrow.
Men of the Mountains. They're cursed to remain in Isildur, which is a ice cold thing up in the mountains. Wow, how has this never clicked for
Oh,
me before?
see, this is hang on. The Christopher remaining for having broken an oath. And I'm gonna do something like put this here, and we'll say like until they are called on again? Question mark? Question mark? Right. We'll give one of these, and we'll like make that a little bit bigger. Right. Yeah, yeah, and then grab it. Right. Come on, grab it, Tom. Grab it. Grab it right here. Grab it, Tom. Please grab the thing. There we go. Right there, and give me one of these, and give me one of these, and give me like whoosh, boop boop. Am I sharing my screen with you, by the way?
Are you? No, you're not.
Oh shoot. Well, it's too late. Um,
Yep. Right now.
so like I have this, and this is the problem, Zach, with doing things with like even sprinkling Lord of the Rings in is we're gonna find hits. There's gonna be
Yep.
there's gonna be a lot, and I'm on book one of Lord of the Rings right now, and I already have a bunch of theories cooking. There's gonna be more. That's good. I really like that. How do we like?
Isildur was the person who cursed them. That was where's the mountain they're in?
Oh, they're cursed to
I'm gonna
remain in
name it. Well,
Isildur, if you know what I mean.
they are beneath the I cannot pronounce it. Dwemerberg, the Valley of Harrow, that lies in the shadow. That's the other thing with Tolkien is he like will just have like a detailed description of where something is. It requires 8 words you've never heard before,
Hang on.
connected by like some like valley past the stream of uh Mergurkanda.
Zach, be careful. Be careful just saying random syllables, okay?
I will accidentally kit bash a slur together. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you'll accidentally Mad Lib something really bad. Oh my god. Here for anyone who doesn't watch the streams, boop, there's our waiting screen while I go and share my screen with Zach. Hang on. Right here. Blah, blah, blah. Right there. Screens, tap, go live. There we go. Zach, you should be able
There
to
we
see
go.
now. And taking back to right there. Hello. All right.
If,
Hi,
if you
everybody.
ever want a confirmation that we legit record these shows live with zero edits, most of the time, you got it right
Yeah,
now.
I ain't cutting that out. I ain't cutting anything out unless Zach actually
Or-
does Mad Libs together something really bad.
yeah, our editing backlog's long enough. If I say something horrible on accident, trying to write Tolkien style location names, we're just cutting the entire episode. It's not happening. Uh,
So Zach, here's what this is how confident I am in the theory we're currently working on. Watch what I do right now. Control Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z. There it goes. The thing, the like pretty good theory we just live cooked. That's gone. It's off the screen. We're not
uh,
talking about it anymore.
all right, Tom,
Oh
give
yeah.
me give me something to latch on to here. Give me your actual first hit.
It is in the Fellowship of the Ring, um, the first major meeting of like a lot of characters.
This is the council they have, right? Where they're like,
Ding.
"Hey, there's this ring. We
The
need to make a whole fellowship to get rid of this ring, because apparently you can't just wildly swing an axe at it and expect to destroy it."
and my axe. We're gonna increase the size of this. This council is called the Council of Elrond, and I'm putting that right smack dab in the middle. That is one of the big chunks. So from that big chunk, you can probably get to another big chunk or start to chunk out littler chunks.
I mean, there are plenty of councils in A Song of Ice and Fire.
There are.
There's a small council. There have been several grand councils to determine the next king. Uh, and there's also that post-apocalyptic grand council they have in the Bad Dragon show, where they
Uh,
put Bran on the throne with no good reason. I'm sure that there's a possibility that happens in the books, but I'm sure they'll actually have a reason for it
Zach,
instead of just
I have
shrugging.
terrible news. You're close.
Oh no,
Can
tragic.
you get closer?
Is the crow appearing in that council like the ding?
No, no, you are close in concept, not in scene.
In concept, not in scene. So a gathering of a large group of people in relation to a cataclysmic event.
Yep, near to that event, but not that event. Actually,
Near to,
like like extremely similar to that event, but not that event.
extremely similar to that event,
I'm
not that event.
curious if you know it because I know that you stopped watching the greatest show ever made.
So yeah, for context, we talk about this occasionally, but I don't think I've ever gotten into detail. I watched season 5 and fucking hated it. And I said, "Oh, they're gonna fuck this show up." And I told this to Tom,
Uh
and
huh.
Tom said, "Nah, they've got this." It wasn't as good as season 4, but like they've only got so much show left. They've got some great books to borrow from, and like they've set themselves up to, as long as they keep up the like character writing quality, the show can't end poorly.
I mean,
And Tom,
none of that was incorrect.
at the time, that was a solid argument, but I do want to point out that I was right.
Yeah, this is true. This is
I
true.
I had nothing to back up my opinion other than my gut feeling of they kind of like are fucking up some things that are going to cause some structural issues down the road. And you said they've got plenty of time to course correct. They've got plenty of time to introduce things, and no worries about that. And also, there's a certain motion that they have to go through, and it's going to make sure they hit all those beats.
Yep.
And that was said minutes before the bus rolled over the hill.
Yep. You really gonna die for some season 7?
Someone is. Uh,
So Zach, what's the council? Where is it? Do you know where it is?
so is this they convene near the wall in Winterfell before to like discuss things for the coming battle against the others, right?
They
It's
they do. That
because
is
you get the scene where Sansa and Dany hate each other for no reason.
yep.
Although to be fair, maybe they write each other's chapters.
Eh,
Uh,
got him. Got him. Um, we have a couple of scenes in Winterfell, but I'm looking for something in King's Landing.
it's oh no. This
Does
is not them bringing this stupid fucking white to Cersei so she can.
ah
No, no, you're writing
ah
text. No,
ah in season 7, episode 7 of
beyond the wall.
season 7, episode 7, um, uh, the dragon and the wolf.
Oh, the dragon and the wolf.
Yeah,
The young
don't
wolf.
worry,
We'll
we'll
talk
talk
about.
about season 7, episode 6 in a minute. Uh,
Oh boy,
the
no,
dragon
dear
and the
God.
wolf. Um, we're gonna say John and Company, John and Co. Uh,
Borrow Littlefinger's jetpack.
yes. Uh, uh, travel to King's Landing and treat with Cersei.
By the way, as someone who's finishing up his re-listen of Clash right
Yeah.
now, I always thought the like Littlefinger's jetpack thing was overblown in the show, and like he travels fast, but not like absurdly fast.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't realize how crucial him traveling for so long and treating with the Tyrells for so long is in the books that it comes off as jarring by comparison. Although I should note Tyrion sure does think multiple times. Man, Littlefinger sure is taking a sweet ass time.
Yeah, this is extremely true. And also like him being gone for a long time and having traveled a long way away is one of the things that gives him plausible deniability in the death of Joffrey,
Yeah,
right?
he shows back up and then isn't back for very long before it happens. Yes.
Yep. So as far as anyone is concerned in King's Landing, he has been gone for weeks.
Yeah.
The only witness against that is at the bottom of Blackwater Bay and Sansa.
Yes.
And like the Kettle Black's dad? Question mark? That's
Question
all.
mark.
It's all weird. Uh, uh, uh. So Zach, are you ready to talk about HBO's A Game of Thrones?
Tragically, I am ready to talk
Yes.
about the seasons I did not watch.
All right, Zach. I want to talk
I
about.
should note
Yeah.
I did jump back right in to watch the episodes when they got really bad.
Oh,
I did very intentionally do that.
it's
Second
not.
the like the second people told me the show is like fucking collapsing, I'm like, okay, well, I wasn't here for the mediocrity, but I am going to be here for the slow, sad demise. Well, not even the slow, sad demise. Is like they were dying of like all the horrible things they did themselves. Like their body was failing from years of neglect, and then they ran in front of a steamroller. And the steamroller was kind of slow, and they could have got out of the way like Austin Powers style, and they just chose not to.
Oh God, it's Zach. How dare you remind me about a better written scene? Oh,
You're right. The scene where the one guy gets run over by a steamroller in Austin Powers is infinitely better than anything in the final season of the Bad Dragon
and
Show.
Zach, that's a problem. Okay. Um, Viserion is rezzed during this outing. I would just like to share some things that are in my Google Doc, what like surrounding this. Here it is. Quote: Daenerys and Cersei meet face to face on only one occasion in season 7, episode 7, The Dragon and the Wolf. By the way, season 7, episode 6 is Beyond the Wall, where Viserion was rezzed by the White Walkers. 10 minutes of screen time later, everyone is back in King's Landing.
Ten,
Also,
yeah, 10 minutes of screen time.
also,
Insane, insane.
also says Tom in all caps. Also, Google Docs thinks the proper spelling is raised, and it's not. It's rezzed. Fuck you, Google. Fuck you, Game of Thrones.
Yes, God, what a what an
And then
absurd like season 7. Like season 8 is really bad, and it's also very rushed, and it's like an unsatisfying ending. But like season 7, I feel like is actually stupider as a season. Like the writing things are all bad decisions in 8, but I could see like in the hands of a better writer who did more to set them up. Like Danny turning into a mad queen, if George does that, and I think he will,
yeah,
totally like believable and as a compelling like tragic end to her story. The we need to steal a living white so we can bring it back to show Cersei, famously not someone who gives a shit about serious problems, who is also at this point certifiably off her rocker, and everybody actually knows this already. And we're going to do it in like I don't know 10 minutes from the other side of the continent. Is like written by somebody who has only ever had like the Song of Ice and Fire novels explained to them in an elevator by a drunk guy.
yeah. This is like Like you've been
Which
doing a
welcome,
D&D
by the way,
campaign.
welcome. That's also our channel. Uh,
Yeah. But right, you've been doing a D&D campaign for like 5 years, but someone says this is my last session. But you're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, all right, we got to get to the wall. We got to get we got to get to the King's Landing, then we got to get back to Winterfell, and then the White Walkers need to show up and everybody needs to get back to King's Landing.
yeah, yeah.
It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane, dude. Holy shit. It's so bad. I have written here in all caps and bold. Every time I want to write anything about Game of Thrones, it just reminds me of how mad I am about Game of Thrones. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs any amount of thought put into it, and I'm so angry.
There is the yeah. The perfect is hard to achieve. Satisfying was something that Game of Thrones for 4 seasons knocked out of the park, and occasionally would hit perfection along the way. And there are some episodes that are probably like B pluses and like B minuses. But if the worst you're ever getting is like a really satisfying B minus, and you follow it up with an A and an A plus, nobody's going to like begrudge you for that, right? You just had to be pretty good, and then occasionally hope you knock one out of the park.
Yep.
And for 4 seasons, you did that. God damn it!
Yep.
For 4 seasons.
Oh god. All right, Zach. I don't want to talk about Game of Thrones anymore. Take me back to take take me back, please. Take me
Let's
back
go.
to the
Let's go
Council of
back to
Elrond.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take me back
the
over there.
council. The Council of Elrond is a similar sort of thing.
Yes.
Uh, there's this threat. Some of you are gonna laugh it off, but you should take it very seriously.
Yep.
It's this goddamn fucking ring that I have right here. It's super evil. It can turn you invisible. Also, a guy who owned it had a sword that turned blue around orcs. That's not relevant. I just like talking about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Correct.
and
Same.
this is a this is the Council of Elrond. If it was hosted by John Boyce.
Actually, this is the Council of Elrond as hosted by Bilbo. They give Bilbo the opportunity to talk, and my man just talks about Bilbo. It's
Incredible.
awesome. Right. They say to the council there's dignitaries from like 7 nations. Like 3 of the 10 most powerful people on the planet are in the room right now. Uh and he's just like, all right, but I gotta tell you guys about these fucking riddles. They were awesome. Like, oh my god, like I didn't mean to come up with what have I got in my pocket, but like since then I'm like I feel like I had that one in the back pocket, as it were. It's so good. It's so funny. I love Bilbo so much, and he is my favorite character.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, the thing that happens there is basically they lay out the entire like, here's what this object is, here's what it means, here's the threat, here are the other people who are going to use this for evil things. There's this giant eyeball called Sauron. Uh, he is going to appear later in the story and also in the Lego movie. And uh, sorry, it's the Lego Batman movie. Uh, and
You know, I've never
you
seen any
really
of the Lego movies.
and it's incredible.
I've heard they're
There
good.
I enjoy them. Yeah.
Good.
Um,
In the
and
comments
then
below,
in the comments below, yeah,
tell us
please
how
tell
you
us
would feel about
your
a Lego Game of Thrones.
please rank all the Lego movies and tell us how you'd feel about a Lego Game of Thrones.
Actually, that sounds like a lot of fun, and I would be on
It'd
board.
be really if it, the Jamie losing his hand scene would be really comedic because they would just rip it out of the socket.
Yeah, same thing with Ned losing his head. Yeah. Oh my god, the Hound is just gonna be like the plastic on his face is just gonna be a little bit melted.
I like this a
Wait,
lot.
this is just a good bit. This is just wait. Can we pitch this? We can write this.
We could film this. We just need the custom Legos, right? And
Lego,
just do the poster
Lego.
style.
Do we want to fund this? We can get Chris Pratt. I bet he'll do anything.
I don't know if we can get Chris Pratt and also not a cease and desist.
I bet we can get Sean Bean.
I don't think we can get Sean Bean and not a cease and desist.
Wait, no, no. Like like let's get like $250 million. Let's get this funded.
Easy. That's the easy part.
Let's talk to Sony Pictures. Let's actually do this. It sounds great. I mean, are we qualified? I don't know. Were Dave and Dan qualified? Clearly not.
We're not trust fund babies.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, trust fund babies are a different toy. Did that I don't know. I guess that
I,
was a
I,
joke about how people thought Beanie Babies were worth something at one point. I don't know.
I was thinking a Cabbage Patch Kid sort of thing, but uh,
I'm gonna say that the next time I meet someone whose parents are really wealthy, I'm gonna call them a Cabbage Patch Kid.
the cabbage is a different kind of green.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, he's an Avatar. My
okay,
Cabbage
back,
Patch.
get back on the rails. Back on the rails.
Snap back to reality.
Snap back to reality.
Oh, there goes
So
gravity. Oh, there goes gravity.
uh,
No, find the rails. Find the rails, Zach. Find the rails. Quick, quick, get us back.
the Council of Elrond. Yeah. They're discussing upcoming threats. They're discussing there's an army of Sauron. He's got orcs. Meat is back on their menu.
Yeah.
This is
Uh,
they're trying a
okay,
vegan
wait.
thing for a while.
There's a thing. We learn that orcs are massing.
And orcs are not like orcs are magical in uh the way they're created in Lord of the Rings. They are not like made from like to a mother orc and a father orc like each other really much, and they have hot lewd orc sex. They are made from like dirt and stone, I think, right?
Um, I don't actually know. Um, I only remember the incredible scene from the movies when we see an orc being born, and it's so scary. They come out of like egg sacs. It's awesome. I, I
Uh,
I think they're like scary hybrids between goblins and elves? Question mark.
yeah, I
There's
think
like some real there's some real Valyrian imagery with orcs, I think.
orcs were either East elves enslaved, tortured, and bred by Morgoth, or perhaps turned evil and savage in the wild, according to the Silmarillion, according to Wikipedia. Uh, Orcs multiplied like elves and men, meaning they reproduced sexually. Never mind. They do have hot orc sex.
Um,
Uh,
I didn't feel like my aesthetic was emo enough, so I decided to go a little.
what?
You can tell when Zach isn't looking at my screen.
Yes, sorry. Morgoth.
And to the
Uh,
all right,
back on the rails. Back on the
go
rails.
ahead.
So
You can hit me with this one in the comments. Go ahead and tell me the aesthetic distinctions
when you
between
talk,
emo and goth.
apparently,
I want to hear them. Get us out of here.
even Tolkien didn't know how they were made. Uh, he said there must have been orc women. Other people in future books made them from sorcery, bred from the heat and slimes of the earth. I believe that's kind of the implication in the movie is that they're not created in a like way that we would recognize as humans who are used to like conception and then a natal like stage.
Oh man. Yeah, I just can I go off on a very light tangent here, real quick?
Please.
Just sidebar. This is not like new ground, but like there's some real like D&D morality in Lord of the Rings, you know what I mean? Where like this is an orc. Orcs are bad. And I don't respect that. I don't respect that, and it might come up later in this theory.
I mean, I agree that also there's the all orcs are inherently evil. There, have you ever had the classic baby orc argument about D&D?
That's the one that goes do.
Yes, baby orc do. Uh
No, I have
yeah.
not heard the baby orc card. Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, this is a classic like it used to say in monster manuals. It doesn't say anymore. that orcs are always evil, and that
Uh-huh.
it was true of other like beings. And knowing that an orc raised by orcs in an orcish society, like or just by nature of being born, it's like never explicitly stated. Do orcs like are they taught evil or are they born into it? Do they have evil inside them? If you come across a baby orc because it will grow to be evil someday, you should kill it. And of course, that means you just go around killing baby orcs, and that is a good thing to do as a way to point out how the like alignment system of D&D can have some perverse incentive sort of thing to it. Because we would not usually consider someone who goes around murdering babies gleefully in their cradles to be a good person.
Yeah, I am reminded of a college humor quote discussing something very similar to this, describing some of these incentives and going, and that sounds evil to me. You are
Yes,
incentivized to kill baby orcs, and that sounds evil to me.
yes. This led to a reworking of the alignment system where if someone is evil, usually it's due to the worship of an outright evil deity or something of that sort, or just because of the actions they take. And I think besides demons and devils and things that are extraplanar in origin, nothing is inherently born with an evil alignment anymore, which I like more as a morality system because you can be a outsider to the like culture that you're or like whatever you want to call it, vibes of your surrounding because you have agency. Unless, of course, you're a demon or a devil, in which case you were just born a bastard. Uh, D&D
Literally.
tangent aside, yeah, literally. D and
I
D tangent aside,
I believe I believe that a great American philosopher said something similar to this. It's not who we are, but what we do that makes us who we are.
isn't that Mewtwo?
Oh no, I was going for Batman. Oh no, I combined the two. I combined the quotes. Damn it! Damn it! Hang on. Okay, the Batman is it's not who we are underneath, but what we do that defines us. And
The
Mewtwo
Mewtwo quote.
and a great Japanese philosopher said, it is not who we are, but what we do with the gift of life that makes us who we are. Something like that. In the comments below, please give me inspirational quotes from like very fun media, but like frame them in terms of like a great Japanese philosopher or like a famous American philanthropist, Bruce Wayne. I want to hear those. Right? Give me something like a famous American entrepreneur said something that Walter White said.
I There's so many things I want to say that are going to get us demonetized, so I'm just not going to go
I'm
there.
sure you got some that won't. Come on.
I'm gonna go down the no, you know what? No, back on the rails. Back on the rails.
Okay, all
Uh,
right. Weirdly, we're not that
Tom, let's
far off
talk
the
about
rails. We're actually
let's
we're
just
actually kind of on topic. This is just a
about
beefy
close.
one. It's a beefy one, Zach. It's a beefy one.
This is a theory lot of it. Tom, let's talk about some comparisons here.
Yeah,
I think I can draw some lines.
I think you can too.
Okay, Viserion is resurrected. There's like a clear and present threat that Cersei is not taking seriously, but that's probably highly unlikely of how it's going to go down in the books. For one, Cersei might be dead by then, and for two, uh, the characters presumably, even if they were dumb enough to trust an insane Cersei, probably wouldn't be able to get down to her like place in an expedient enough time. There's more likely to be some sort of conversation somewhere in the north or potentially the Riverlands in the more northern parts of it, where they gather
Well,
whoever is remaining to fight against the others and try their damnedest to basically, come up with a plan to defeat the others, to
Hell yeah.
accomplish something
Oh,
using
fuck
some sort of
yeah. Fuck
MacGuffin.
yes. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm excited.
Yeah, like if they have something they believe can be used to defeat the others in the same way that destroying the ring, or if they're playing a game of keep away, right? Uh, Destroying the ring is a game of keep away from Sauron and his forces. They can defeat him if he, so long as he never has the ring. Uh,
Ding, ding. The characters discuss what to do. An elf, who I think is named Glorfindel, um, states that there are three options: hide the ring, um, bury the ring, or destroy the ring.
and only the fires of Mount Doom are hot enough to destroy it. Or at the very least, even if it isn't destroyed, you have to go through lava to get to it, and lava kills most things.
True.
And a ton of lava, a volcano's worth of lava, is usually enough to make it insurmountable.
I'm putting
Uh,
this down here because we have sort of a division here. Um,
Go for it.
right here and right here, there's like a division by time. This is the things that happened before and during the council, right? And this down here is the thing that are the things that happen or are
After.
planned to happen after the council. Yes.
So let's keep talking about it.
Yep.
They make a determination basically. There needs to be a party to escort the ring to Mount Doom, the only place they feel confident they can destroy it. And there needs to then be a separate, like, combining of forces to stop Sauron from beelining his way to the ring, from winning the war without the ring, because that's entirely still plausible. The threat of Sauron still winning and causing them untold doom could still happen even if they destroy the ring. Am I correct in my rememberings of this?
Even if they destroy the ring, um,
E-
destroying the ring, and granted, I don't know the book ending yet, but I believe that destroying the ring is an auto win button. Um,
Okay.
but even if Sauron not having the ring, so the ring
Yes.
being hidden or buried, um, is not an he can still absolutely kick ass without the ring.
Yeah. It's destroying the ring is a auto win. That's right. And then that's why hiding it and burying it were not the most sought after options, because they could him getting the ring is an auto lose. Him not having the ring is still an uneven fight, not in
Cor-
their favor.
exactly correct. Can I talk about very briefly about the other options: hide it and bury it?
Please do.
Hide it. It is suggested that they give the ring to Tom Bombadil. Um, do you know Tom Bombadil?
I was going to bring up Tom Bombadil because he's such a wonderful, weird creature.
He's so strange, and I love him, and it's so freaking weird that he's even in the story. Um, it is suggested they give the ring to Tom Bombadil, but Gandalf says that Tom is a forgetful deity, and he might well lose the ring. Even if he doesn't, sooner or later, Sauron will find out where it is, and even Tom can't withstand a full frontal assault in his current state. He just can't. Uh, and I think that's very reasonable. Um, it is suggested that they keep the ring in Rivendell and hide it there, but for similar reasons, they don't think that Rivendell could withstand a protracted siege if full war breaks out. And it's suggested that they give the ring to the elves across the sea, but Elrond says that they will not accept it. He says that for better or worse, it is a problem for Middle Earth. And I think that's some bullshit. And we should ask.
Yeah.
you know,
Also, Tom Bombadil being a forgetful deity means he's going to lose it in his magical couch, and I don't know if Sauron can get there.
yeah, if Tom Bombadil can't get to Tom Bombadil's magical couch. Oh, but Gandalf does say that there's a chance Tom Bombadil just fucking throws it away. He
Yeah.
just
Yep.
forgets what it is and then like takes it out with the garbage. He's like, "What's this
Why
weird
can't
metal thing?"
Gandalf just take it and then fuck off to outer space?
Hey, that it's great that you say that because Boromir suggests a fourth course of action. His fourth course of action is, well, why don't we use it? Like, the ring is extremely powerful. Let's use it to kick Sauron's ass. Let's do it.
Yeah, you know what? I never thought about that, right? Have
Yeah.
like why don't we just take all the magic items we have, including this one? We know they exist. Multiple people have them. Fucking Bilbo Baggins here is some schmuck, and he has a glowing magical sword and the most powerful ring in the universe. I bet if we go through all your treasuries, we're gonna find like a shit ton of magical items. And then what we're just gonna do is we're gonna go murk Sauron, just kill the shit out of him, and then we'll call it a day.
Right.
The
I'm
problem is
sure.
then you're
Oh, go ahead.
the problem is then you're bringing all your magical weapons and the one that makes Sauron unstoppable directly to his lair, and then you hope you have to win.
I'm
So
down
you
to
have a
hear
margin of error of that fight.
like Elrond. You're like 4,500 years old. You don't have a remove curse scroll somewhere. Like, come on, dude. And like, I think this is a very reasonable suggestion, frankly. Now, I understand why it's not tenable, but like, Gandalf and Elrond both like fucking make fun of him. They're like, you dumb human, you fucking idiot. What the fuck's the matter with you? How dare you suggest we use this powerful weapon? How do you dumb asshole? Oh, that's so cute. Boromir suggests that since the ring is so great, let's use it against Sauron. It, in concert with the three great elven rings, which we fucking have, uh, we must be capable of destroying him. And Gandalf and Elrond both scoff at this, saying the only person who would be capable of wielding the ring would be someone who is already incredibly powerful in their own right. Elrond, Saruman, or Galadriel might be able to do it. Gandalf and Radagast could, but that's not maybe. Uh, but even then, even if they were successful, they would then take Sauron's seat. And then you would trade one Dark Lord for another, and this one would have the face of a friend. And they say no one can wield the ring. Um,
Yeah,
and at the end of this whole diatribe, I was like, Zach, that's breaking the wheel imagery.
it is. And also, how much of the Warcraft lore do you know?
Not a lot, not a ton.
There
Yeah,
always has to be in Warcraft lore. There always has to be a Lich King.
yeah.
So if you kill the old one, someone who is part of the team who kills him has to be the new one. And has to make a self-sacrifice. I believe I did not play up to I quit World of Warcraft right after the Lich King came out, and then I started a decade plus long Blizzard boycott, which feels better every year. Man, oh man, it feels better every year. But uh, I know that in that one you do kill Arthas, the most famous Lich King, because it got the whole story about him.
Arthas
Uh,
Menethil.
and I believe it's Uther who takes his place.
Does
And
Uther take his fucking place? Oh my god, that's terrifying.
yeah, um, and yeah, somebody has to sit on the frozen throne and not use it basically. And they pick the like person least likely to be tempted to be a horrible person by its powers. Uh, and yeah, that was that's another like thing that's very Tolkien-esque is yeah, this thing is so dark and powerful. You can kill its vessel, but it will find a new one.
For sure. Um,
Interesting. How does this how do we doing this back to Song of Ice and Fire? You're right. There's breaking the wheel imagery here, right? You
yep.
can you can kill Sauron, but you will become Sauron in the
So,
process.
yep. So how do we stop the cycle, right? This is the cycle of kings in A Song of Ice and Fire. Every king is bad. Every king is bad. Right? Daenerys overthrowing the king of Westeros to become queen of Westeros isn't better or different. It's just a new it's just a new Dark Lord. It's just a new
Yeah.
Sauron.
Yeah.
So how do we break the wheel? This, by the way, sidebar, and I'm not gonna start this fight in the comments today. But there's another reason I kind of like Daenerys. I think she's a fucking cool character. We'll return to that another day.
The break the wheel thing is from the show mostly, but yeah, like if she was the problem is she doesn't actually want to break the wheel. She has break the wheel vibes with no substance.
That you know what? This is fair. Uh,
She's an absolute monarchy with girl boss aesthetics, girl boss characteristics.
You're right. Under what circumstance does Daenerys decide not to be an absolute monarch? And I don't know. Under what circumstance does Daenerys not pick up the ring?
Yeah,
Huh. Wait a minute. We're delving into other theories that I wasn't intending to go down. But like
we're doing a lot of that
the
today.
metaphor of the Iron Throne being the One Ring.
Well, so the Iron Throne being alive and having some sort of dark, terrible magic to it is kind of validated. And I'm gonna make a strange poll here. It's almost kind of validated by the last episode, second last episode of the Bad Dragon show,
You're kind of
or
right.
maybe that is the last episode.
Yeah.
When Danny dies, Drogon, a powerful magical being with a psychic link to Danny, immediately destroys the fucking chair.
Oh shit. Because Drogon has a sense of like poetic
The chair
justice.
fucking did it to her.
He has an understanding of like symbols of political power.
Well, okay. Or that it makes more sense if the chair had legitimate, like, torturous powers and was pulling Danny even from the other side of the planet towards it, and Drogon having a psychic connection to Daenerys, which we know is true from House of the Dragon, could feel the same pull, realized what it had done to Daenerys, and destroyed it.
Oh my god, Zach, what you're saying is that Quaithe is a manifestation of the Iron Throne.
You know, someday I might be high enough to believe that.
Yes! Yes!
And if
Remember
you're
who
high
you
enough to believe
are
that right if you're high enough to believe that right now, thanks for
in
watching.
the
It
comments
must feel like
below.
with time dilation, this must feel like you're 6 hours into the
Yeah, when in reality you're only four.
video. Somebody did just check. Somebody did just check.
Yeah, yeah. Someone just like wiggled their mouse or tapped their screen to see how much time is left, and I got great news. It's a lot. Okay, all right. Let's very briefly want to talk about burying the ring.
Yeah.
Someone recommends that they cast the ring into the sea, and honestly, I don't think that's a bad plan at all. Um,
The problem is Cthulhu could get the ring.
it's like dead ass. That's what fucking Gandalf says. 100%. This is the exchange. Someone, I think maybe Glowin, recommends that they cast the ring into the sea and let it sink and lie there. Gandalf says that we must think of more than just our age. Sea floors rise and fall, and future people will not thank us when it comes back to the surface. And anyway, there are dark things in the deep, and who knows what could happen. And that's so scary.
Yeah. The best case scenario is it rises out 1,000 years later, and we have to deal with this problem all over again. The more quick bad problem is Cthulhu puts on the ring.
Yeah, which is kind of something that I want, actually.
Well, we have Euron Greyjoy,
We
so
do.
if there, so I guess the thing,
In the comments
what's the
below, tell us if you predicted Euron's appearance in this theory.
uh, this is curious. What is going to be the one ring? I guess it has to be like Lightbringer the sword, right?
Yep,
Like if Lightbringer has some sort of part to the end of the story, if it is that important, there has to be it has to be a MacGuffin, right? It has to be a Lightbringer must be used in this way, in this fashion, to end the long night.
that
It does, in fact, bring light.
that is the only thing that I could think of. However, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do Lightbringer, and then I'm gonna put a slash here, and I'm not gonna continue this thought because we're gonna get there like all the way at the end. We're gonna get to what I think might be the other thing.
So this is we have a sword that is clearly magical. It is more magical than any of the other magical things we have, and we notably have a horn that just blew a hole in the wall. Uh, and
If you know what I mean.
if you know what I mean.
That's a glory hole joke
And
for
an
anyone who's counting.
old legend says this must be used in such and such fashion to end the long night.
Yeah.
we need a team to go to this place and use it in the proper way. We need you, Jon Snow, and we need you, I don't know, Dark Star question mark.
Jon Snow, uh, Dark Star question mark. I had the same. You're saying things that are on my list.
Who it's basically going to be a who's still alive sort of thing. Who's still alive and up
Like
there? Brienne
absolutely.
question mark?
Brienne. Yep. I don't think that I need to put a question mark on Brienne. I think that she seems fairly likely.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is going to be who's going to go on this epic final journey of humanity's last hope.
yep. Let's think about who went on the journey with John in season 7, episode 6. You know who
I
I
mean, we
think is
get
great is a great option? Tormund, because he knows
Tormund.
those lands.
Yeah, no, we're gonna need somebody. We're gonna need a wildling who can help us navigate.
Yep.
We're gonna need people who know, the sword itself. If Darkstar is the one who brings uh Dawn,
Yep.
which might be transformed to Lightbringer, he's like, I know the sword. I know the history. It's mine. I have to bring it with me. Brienne is a good fighter, a good
Hmm.
swordsman, and good at surviving through the wilds. As a functionally, she was a hedge knight for the last book and change. Uh,
Can I put some parameters on this?
Go for it.
How many people are in the? I'm actually gonna do this, and I'm gonna control X. I'm gonna cut that real fast. Um, how many people are in the Fellowship?
Frodo, Sam, Gimli, Legolas, Sean Bean,
Yep.
uh, Pip and Mary. 9 people.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought you were still counting. I'm sorry. I was ahead of you.
No, no.
Uh, the Fellowship consists of 9 people, representatives of all free, free. What are they? What's the word they use? Free nations.
Yeah.
And they say that they say something very similar to that. We are sending with you. We are sending a collection of 9 representatives of all the free nations of the West, something like that. So you have a hobbit, a man, an elf, and a dwarf. You have
Yes.
3 more hobbits, a wizard, and who am I forgetting? 3 more hobbits, a wizard, and another man, Boromir.
Yes. Yes.
Yep, yep. So I I think if we're hunting and we're starting to get a little like we're getting into like theorizing instead of like predicting. Um
Yes.
but
It's gonna
like
have to be somebody from one of the Seven Kingdoms, right?
right?
We're gonna have one person from each of the Seven Kingdoms go forward, and then also Tormund, who's kind of like the wizard in this one, right? Like,
Mhm.
we bring Gandalf along because he knows things they don't know and could never know. And Tormund's going to be the same way. He has been in this magical world north of the Wall, where like, yeah, giants are real. I'm friends with several of them.
Yep.
Is a thing you could say. I've
And
seen
I
Snarks and Grumpkins.
and I would think we're going to one from each of the 7 kingdoms plus Tormund plus an extra.
Danny,
I don't think so. You want to know where my money is?
go for it.
Sam. A
Because
chronic
there's a Sam who comes
a
along on
Yep,
the other journey as
a
well.
chronicler.
Yeah, a chronicler, Sam to write it down.
Yep. And from the party's perspective, a medic,
Yeah,
right? Someone who can bind wounds and
yeah.
tend ravens.
So yeah, someone who can send a raven to say like, we're still on the way. You don't need us, because they're probably gonna have a backup party, right? Like if they fall, you're gonna need somebody to go frantically try and get the sword so it doesn't fall in the hands of the others.
Mhm.
And so you need somebody who can correspond and who can heal people.
And I think I know exactly who that somebody is, and I think you do too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. That somebody is Daenerys. And that somebody is going to lose Viserion north of the wall.
Oh yeah, there's a point where they don't hear back, and like it's they're not in a good place, but they're not completely defeated. And then Danny goes on a search party and loses Viserion. Yeah, yeah, I can see that entirely.
It doesn't not track, you know? You want to build the rest of this party?
Maybe. So let's see. We have Darkstar from Dorne, Brienne from the Stormlands, John from the North. Hmm. Who do we get from? Let's see. Who's from the Vale? Who's from the Riverlands? Who's from the? Well, it's the Isles in the river. So we could get Theon, uh, to come and be on this final journey, right? He's going towards the Wall.
Yep. That occurred to me. It also occurred to me that Asha might be better.
Yes.
But Theon may be seeking redemption.
Yeah, he owes a
Mm,
debt that he can never repay to House Stark, and he'll start by helping John save the world.
I'm gonna do Theon slash Asha. Right, that kind of tracks for me. Now we've gotten to the point where I don't really know.
Yeah, no, it's a
Right,
real guess
it's
for the
fuzzy
rest of
here
the.
now. I feel like we're doing the Trial of Jamie Lannister video.
Yep.
You know, we're doing the
Mm,
Trial of Seven. We're like, who the hell represents the gods?
I don't think we need to fill this out, but I
Yeah, but
kind of love this.
I kind of want to. I kind of want to fill it. Come on, fill it out.
Fair,
Finish
fair,
it up
fair.
with me. Who's our dream team? We got one, two, three, four, five, six. What do we need left? How about somebody from the Reach? Ooh, how about Loris?
It's possible, but I don't think it's likely. Sam could just be the person from the Reach, and the extra is from somewhere else.
That's true. That's true. You let's pull Loris. We could say that. The extra then would probably be from Danny's camp, if not
Yeah,
Danny
it would be
himself.
somebody. It would be somebody that Danny has traveled with, who is not originally Westerosi. Somebody who we get a lot of.
Oh my God,
Um,
you look me in the eye. You fucking tell me it's Strong Belwas.
no,
I swear to
I have
God,
a I have
you
a
please
brilliant.
let it be Strong Belwas.
I have a brilliant fucking thing here.
Oh, oh, go ahead.
Dario goes
No,
and then
oh, go
and
ahead.
then betrays them when it turns out he's Euron.
You stop that this instant.
Dario goes along, and then Theon and or Asha is like, you remind me an awful lot of my uncle.
And he's like, you don't say. Twinkle, twinkle. And he touches his nose like Santa Claus. Uh, uh, am I correct in saying that Jorah is actually on that expedition in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, well, because in Game of Thrones, it's literally just who do we have left who's alive that the audience likes.
We got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven crown lands. Show me. Wait, Westerlands. Show me the Hound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a plausible enough
Yep.
guess there. There's other people who I think are a little more likely
Yep.
the books. I get why the show went with that
Could
sort of.
be right. Could be Jamie. Fine. Right. Jamie seeking
Yeah,
redemption. But I feel like Jamie's gonna have stuff to do. Right. Could be a whole bunch of people, honestly.
yeah,
From the Westerlands, and we now is it the Crown lands that we need now left? We have Dorne, North.
yeah.
No,
The Crown Lands,
we need the Vale.
the Vale. Uh,
I have no idea.
yeah. No, I'm
Any
honestly
Royce?
a
Probably
little.
not Bronze Yon Royce, huh? Uh, hmm. Somebody from the Vale. Anybody
Hold on one second.
name someone from the Vale. Challenge impossible. Is it Harry the Heir?
What about Timot, son of Timot? Is he still alive?
I mean, honestly, bro. Sure.
Yeah, He's still around. He can. What he'll do is he'll get to the uh the great other, and he'll cut off his manhood and feed it to a goat.
Yeah, the black goat of the woods with 1,000 young.
I think
Yeah,
it's
he'll cut
I
off
think
his
it's Shagga.
manhood and feed
I
it to
think
the
it's
black goat of
Shagga who
Kohor.
cuts off manhoods and feeds it to a goat, and
You're
it's
right. I'm
Timmet in the
sorry. I'm
show.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Shagga in the book and Timmet in the show.
Shagga, son of Dolph. My bad. I wouldn't want to offend you.
Shagga, son of goat.
Son of Shagga, son of bitch. Uh. Okay. Th- this was all sort of like a tangent side theory. It's really good and I like it a lot, but uh, uh, this is not the main purpose. The main purpose is that I really think that a council like this is very likely to happen. We're missing some stuff up in this corner, and I think I'd like to just fill it in a little bit. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Okay. Um, a lot of the things that happen in this chapter are like, hey guys, this is what's been going on. Um, so we get Bilbo and Gandalf relate the story of the ring. So like Bilbo tells how he found it, and Gandalf talks about Smeagol.
Yes.
Um, let's see. Oh, this is something interesting. The council was kind of impromptu.
Yeah. It was hastily thrown together because of impending emergency.
No, it wasn't thrown together. No one,
Really?
and I do mean no one, was called to Rivendell. They all just
Huh.
showed up. Um, Boromir talks about how his brother had a dream that someone needed to go to Rivendell. Um, Glowin showed up because this is another thing. Glowin relates news that riders from Sauron, uh, riders from Sauron are looking come on, looking for the one called Baggins, and that they came to the Lonely Mountain. They came to his home and were like, if you give us news of the one called Baggins, we will give you back the 7 rings that the dwarves once held. The 7 great rings of the dwarves. Which scares the shit out of them, obviously. Because
Yeah,
Glowin,
understandable. So,
Glowin, of course, is like, oh no, that's my buddy. That's my friend. He saved my ass like 3 times. I can't let him get eaten. Yeah, Boromir explains that he heard that he needed to come in a dream. It's fucking insane, dude. No one intended to go to Rivendell. Um, and like that lines up a little bit with something that happens in Game of Thrones because um Beric Dondarrion and Sandor have these like crazy ass dreams. These crazy trippy ass dreams that are
yeah.
like, hey, you got to go to this mountain. And this mountain has like stuff and stuff or whatever.
Yeah, where people are like, oh, that could be Bran or that could be some other magical force trying to make sure they're in the right place at the right time and be part of this council.
um so this is a time for all characters to share news, come to understanding. Right? Because like at the beginning, a lot of people don't believe each other. They're like, "That's stupid. We don't even know that the ring is real, much less in this fucking room." Um, uh, 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 and I think that that scene where a lot of our main characters end up at the same place would be extremely resonant. And they share the stories of all the things that have happened to them. And we, the audience, see the differing tales unravel a little bit. Um, and I think I have a place where that could take place. You and I have talked about this place a lot. Um, People in danger from a largely ground-bound force. Where are they going to retreat to, Zach?
The Veil, it's the Eerie. It is
Absolutely.
impenetrable by everything but dragons, which of course would then make it interesting if they're based out of there, and Danny loses one of her dragons to the others.
The Eyrie is the most defensible place. We're going to put this one right. Shoot, where is it? Come on. Camo. The Eyrie is the most defensible place. Boop. Rivendell. Rivendell is the most defensible place. Right? All these characters go to Rivendell, in part because they felt like they were called there, and in part because this is the place where they think that they're least likely to be fucking killed. Uh, Turns out Lord of the Rings, very good. Who knew? What else do I have here? Messengers from Sauron, full and complete story. Oh shit, yeah, yeah. Gandalf tells of the treachery of Saruman.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. Zach,
when one of the
this,
best scenes in the movie too.
you ready, dude? This is another theory. And this isn't what we're doing today. This is not what we're doing next, but this is another theory we're gonna explore, okay?
Yeah,
Um, this astonished me when I read this. I was like, oh my god, Saruman being evil is such a blow, such a terrible blow to the morale and the like just the hope of victory for the entire world of Middle Earth. And then I was
yeah,
like, wait a minute. There is, as far as I am aware, literally no character in the Seven Kingdoms who is sympathetic to the White Walkers.
yeah. It'd be funny if somebody entered the war on drugs on the side of drugs, right?
Yeah,
Entered the war on terror on the side of terror.
right, right. That's the thing, right? And that, in a narrative like this, happens.
Yeah,
We don't,
Saruman. It's shocking to them. Saruman, like someone incredibly powerful, as powerful as Gandalf, essentially, chooses to fight for the side that like is incomprehensibly evil to them.
yeah. And Zach, that,
Is it Euron? Is it Euron? Is it
I'm,
Stannis who changes
yeah,
sides?
right. And like, it can't be Euron. Euron is already evil, right? Like,
No one would be
no,
shocked that Euron's not cooperating.
yeah. I'm
Now,
not
him
gonna be
working
surprised.
directly with the others would be interesting and probably shocking. Like, I can't believe a human is working with others, but uh, considering that it's Euron, if you told me a human was going to work with the others, he would have been my prime suspect. But like, Saruman is like a legitimate betrayal. He's one of the best we've got. He's not on our side. It'd have to be Stannis, right?
Or Bloodraven.
Blood. Nobody even knows Bloodraven's alive. Maybe it's Bran, right?
Right, but yeah,
Maybe
but
it's your brother. Your brother is still alive. However,
yeah, like it has to be someone powerful enough that it's a blow, like a real blow.
finding out that your brother is still alive and has latent psychic powers and is using them to destroy the world would be a blow, at least narratively, to the characters we're going to get a point of view of.
You know what? I think that's a good one. Right? I don't know, Rickon? That doesn't make any sense. But like it can't be Bran. Bran's a kid. Bran it can't be
Bran
evil.
was a kid. Now he's something else.
No, not yet. He's not something else yet. He will be
That's
by
true.
the end of like the fourth chapter of the next book, but he's not yet. Feasibly, if Bran at this moment in the story, if Bran let go of the well, if Bran spat out the weirwood paste, he would stay human. But like, he's not. He can't betray anyone. We've been inside his head. He's not a traitor. Like Saruman, the Saruman comes as such a blow because he's been working with Sauron for years, decades. It turns out that he has been working against the rest of the council for decades.
Yeah.
Um, I don't even know who that could be. I don't know. Donald Noy? Are members of the Watch working against Melisandre? But we've been inside her head too. Like it could be a hell of a blow if it turns out that the Lord of Light is actually just a lie that the Great Other has been telling her. But that wouldn't hit the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's hard to find a one-to-one parallel here,
Yeah,
right?
and that's
It
where I'm.
it has to come
I
as
would.
a legitimate betrayal.
Yes, and it could just be that could just not happen, right? But
But
I
it's
don't know.
really fun to think about.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tasty, juicy little plot beat that I don't know. Well, it could be the case that George Martin already used that plot beat with Littlefinger in the first book. You know, where like, I did tell you not to trust me. We could call that
Yeah.
a similar plot beat, a very powerful character who's actually been working against you the whole time. I don't know.
And if we're talking about like how George is going to reuse like I mean that does happen, and escalating scales from time to time.
It
There is
does. That happened
I
in book
don't I
three also.
Yep, there's a like Ned gets betrayed and arrested, and then there is Rob gets betrayed and him and his entire like circle that we've been following forever get murdered and captured. And there could be a cataclysmic I'm entering the fight against global warming on the side of global warming like betrayal.
Right. 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 I don't know. I don't know, but we're gonna think about it. We're gonna come up with a reason. We're gonna come up with an answer. All right.
The comments, please make some
Yeah.
suggestions. We'd love
At
to talk about this in a future video.
100%, it's so good. Let me finish up here. Only a little bit more. Yet there are representatives at the council from all the major parties, major nations, major political alliances. What's the word I'm looking for? You'll say major powers in the Bad Dragon Show, right? Um, and this is another thing that just fucking made me so angry that like they're having this meeting to discuss how to fix the end of the world. Uh, Jamie and Cersei are there representing the Iron Throne. Jon is representing the North. Theon and Yara oppose Euron as contesting representatives of the Iron Islands, which is fine. Daenerys is here representing the Targaryens. And
Yeah.
Davos is here representing, I don't know, the Baratheons, I guess. Um,
What's left of them? Yeah.
yeah. And then I have like a whole bunch of shit written here. I'm like, I guess we forgot to let Edmure know this was happening. Uh, we have representatives from all the major parties except Dorne and the Blackfires and the Vale, the untouched Vale, the Vale with the highest forces in the Seven Kingdoms. We fucking left Robin Aaron to his own devices. We didn't invite him. We had to march past his castle to get here, and we didn't invite him.
Yeah, yeah. We had to watch go right past Edmure and Robin Aaron, and they were all like totally able to join us, and we didn't even think to ask once. It was just whatever. We got to get there quick.
I hate this show so much.
It's
Oh
so
my
bad.
god. And so like down here, I'm like What will the options be? Question mark. What are the options going to be? So for this quest, this this I don't know, this fellowship, this this council of this council of snow, the council of winter. Um, that's a good name for a video. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, uh, what is the purpose? What that's the main core of this video, and I think that we have a good conclusion. Right. Take
Yeah.
Lightbringer, and we gotta bring it for some reason. Right. We gotta bring it north. Whether it be because this is a thing that can kill the Great Other, right? We take this to the heart of winter and it can slay the Great Other, or because it like we need to return this or something like that, or destroy it there or something like that. That like Dawn like makes sense to me as the thing to be brought,
Yeah.
or or
Dawn slash Lightbringer, or
or treat with them.
or this is a diplomatic party going.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. In which case, I might change up a couple of attendees. But like, does that seem more likely to you? It's George Martin.
I think it's possible they go thinking they need to use Lightbringer in some like combat fashion, and Lightbringer is like carrying a white flag sort of thing, right? This is the peace banner. They don't realize, or it's a necessary part of some sort of ritual that is not violent combat or something like that.
Yeah. Um,
It's possible.
and like, I think because of the way Game of Thrones ended, we, the audience, basically never saw North of the Wall, and that's been something that bugged me for a long time. Um, the place where the others came from. There's a lot of them. The place where the others came from, we never see it except in that one like episode where the White Walker turns the baby and
Yeah,
like rides back to his ice fortress or whatever.
yeah.
We never see
We get
that.
so little.
And I want to. I
Yeah,
want
oh,
to.
that's one of the biggest disappointments of the show. There's
Yeah.
supposed to be like ice spiders. There's supposed to be snarks and grumpkins. We get more of Beyond the Wall in season 1 than we do in season 8.
Yeah. Isn't that sad?
It is.
So, what do you think?
I like this theory.
I
I
like
like it
it
a
too.
lot.
I don't know where it'll be, but like man, reading this
It would
chapter,
also be the most George R. R. Martin thing ever to have to require like multiple books just to get to the point where you're at the end of Act 1 of the first book of Lord of the Rings.
I know, and like the last I don't know, like 3,000 pages are the end of Lord of the Rings.
Yes. I, I think this is kind of brilliant. It's uh the the political situation that's going on at the beginning of Lord of the Rings is not relevant when we know, like, if you're caught unaware by a cataclysmic event, you still have all the regular politics of the world that's going on. You still have all the nations of the world solving their own problems, and some of them getting into disagreements, sometimes violently, and all those other things. In a world where we have climate change and we have difficulties trying to solve an issue that affects all of us, we have that problem. George R. R. Martin giving us multiple books of this is how fucked up the world is, and I'm going to make you feel for some of these people because you're going to see it from their perspective, and you're going to understand why they have difficulty choosing between saving the world from a cataclysmic threat or stabbing the bastard who killed their relative at a wedding.
Yep. Yep. And man, is that some Game of Thronesy stuff.
Yeah, I
Th-
like it
th-
a lot.
like man, it's so good. Do you think the Council of Winter is a good name for this theory?
I mean, for clicking optimization, it should have quotation marks in theory and a question mark and a big red arrow and like Mr. Beast in the thumbnail. But uh, yes, it should. That's a good name for this theory. I like it a lot.
All right. All right. Zach, thank you very much. Do the outro. My throat hurts.
Thank you for watching, everybody. You can like, comment, and subscribe. You don't have to, but you can. You can also send us a postcard or something else entirely to our P.O. box, or send a theory to the email that is also in the description. You can also do a jig right now. I mean, oh, I think some of you might not be able to. Sorry if you can't, and if you can, it's not that exciting, anyways. And you can also eat food sometimes if you're not allergic to it. I like stuff with cinnamon and sugar.
You need to say five
Bye.
more things they can do.
There's five more things they can do. I was giving up. You can like, comment, and subscribe to somebody else's videos. You can join our Patreon. You can join the Discord server. You can uh, join a local book club and read more. You can learn how to bake a wonderful ziti, and you can also try on a wig.
Yeah, yeah. In the Discord, show us pictures of you in that wig. Zach, say goodbye.
Some people have done that. Bye,
Yeah,
everybody.
goodbye.